Now we will proceed to the reverse pitch session from the DKI Jakarta. First, Mr. Fadri Haleh Tanjun, Head of Environment Planning, Regional Development and Planning Agency, Jakarta Government, will provide an overview of Jakarta and introduce the theme of the POC program, focusing on the urban challenges the city aims to address. So please proceed.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fadli Tanjung. I'm an environmental planning head of Jakarta Capital City Government. I will presenting my slide titled Sustainable Waste Management Towards Energy Resilience in Jakarta. So here's some outline of my slides. And so maybe for some of you who haven't known where is Jakarta located, Jakarta is the still currently capital of the Indonesia. Is a more than 664 square kilometers land area, and also have surrounded by sea area in the northern part, with more than 10.6 million people live in Jakarta. And in the other surrounding metropolitan city of Jakarta, the number of populations will get around 30 million people. And consisting of some land use in Jakarta, half of them consists of 50% of housing zones. And regarding the location of Jakarta, is situated under the Jabodetabek acronym for Jakarta, Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, and Bekasi city agglomeration. Jakarta is contribute to more than 16% of national PDB of Indonesia. And regarding our discussion this afternoon regarding the climate emissions and climate change, based on the inventory report conducted by Environmental Agency of Jakarta, the top two sectors who is the biggest emitter in Jakarta are the transportation sector and power plant, with total around 79% emitter Jakarta coming from that sector. So, and the solid waste final disposal is on the fourth in the fourth position. And regarding the mass transportation network system, most of Jakarta citizens still use the private vehicle, around 77%, and we also have several public service facilities. And regarding the Jakarta utilities and infrastructure systems, we have some clean water systems with currently servicing more than 69% of Jakartans. And we also have one wastewater treatment plant locations. And currently, under cooperation with JICA, we also on progress on constructing the Jakarta Sewerage System Zone 1. But still most of the Indonesian or Jakartans are still using the septic tank in their own households. And regarding the air quality of Jakarta, it is getting more ups and downs, but the less we check that based on air quality index, Jakarta is classified as quite good conditions. And regarding the flood-prone area, around 200 and 300 neighborhoods in Jakarta still affected by the flood, and the northern part in particular still experience a decline of land subsidence around 2.5 meters in the last 10 years, but continues to decline by 9 centimeters per year by the latest study. So, if we talk about the Jakarta's urban challenges, what is our challenges so far? There are top big 5 of it. First is about the Jakarta status post-capital city relocation. Maybe some of you are aware that Indonesian national government is planning to relocate our capital city to Nusantara city in Borneo or Kalimantan Island. So Jakarta will be affected in that policy. Second one is the rapid urbanizations. With Jakarta is one of the most densely populated in this city in the world. Around 17,000 people live in per square kilometers. And the third challenge, it will be the disruption of technology, as we also attend here in the SusHi Tech conference and expo. We know that the disruption of technology cannot be limited, and we will get to the current trends in the industry. And the fourth challenges we face regarding the climate change issues, as we also will know that greenhouse gas emissions will lead to air pollution, urban heat, and other issues. And also the global politics will also influence the strengthening of the Indonesian rupiahs in the exchange rate condition. So regarding the waste management regulations, here are some of the regulations that we already comply from our Spatial Plan 2044, and then our also local act, our Jakarta Act in the long term, in the long-term medium development plan, long-term development plan 2025 until 2045, and then also we currently composing the new medium development plan. This is our still comply 2023 until 2026, but currently we are composing our new medium development plan 2025 until 2029. And regarding the waste management sector, we have this law act regarding the waste management and our strategic and policy in terms of waste management. And here are some of the highlights regarding the policy directions in quality environment from the national long-term national plan 2025 until 2045, and also some of the highlights in midterm national plan 2025 until 2029. You can maybe read in the slides. And regarding the implementation of sustainable city, I highlighted some issues in the long-term regional plan. As I mentioned before, in the next 20 years, Jakarta is committing to reduce the GHG emission by 30% in 2030 and to become net zero emission in 2050. So, yeah, together one of our concern sector in development or infrastructure is the waste management. Currently, there are more than 7,700 tons waste still transporting to our final disposal site in Bantar Gebang, which is located in Bekasi City. With the waste composition by household waste, around 50% consists of biodegradable waste, including the food waste and also organic waste, and following by plastic and paper. So it comes from the 60% of residential area, and averagely around 0.7 kilograms Jakarta produce waste per day, and around 48% organic waste is largest waste composition in Jakarta. So we have also currently budget issues for waste handling that annually we allocate around 2.9 trillion rupiahs. But we still have facing issues about the limited capacity of the final disposal site in Bantar Gebang. So if you can see the increased amount of waste going on within several years, we have quite ups and downs too regarding how many waste going on to the final disposal site. The downtrend was affected by the COVID pandemic, of course. People get maybe less consumption back then, but we are getting higher every year. And if we see with our condition in several infrastructure we have this waste collection within using the 3R, reduce, reuse, recycle in 19 locations with capacity around from 5 until 50 tons per day. And also we have currently the refuse derived fuel or RDF plant in Bantar Gebang, with capacity around 1,000 tons per day. And we will currently constructing the new RDF one in Rorotan, which has capacity around 2,500 tons per day. But we still around have 3,500 tons per day of waste that still needs to be processed with the waste treatment technology and upstream waste management. So this is our main issues back then in Jakarta regarding the waste management. As I told you before, we have several infrastructure already. The RDF plant will be becoming in 2 locations. We also have this waste filter in one of the largest river in Jakarta, we call Ciliwung River, that has approximately managed around 1,300 tons of waste per day. And we are parallelly increasing our number of local sorting facility to become the 3R wasting facility in 13 locations with capacity from 25 until 100 tons per day, and which targeted to become 44 in each sub-districts. And we also have the waste management divisions in all of our neighborhoods or RWs. So if you see the framework of the waste management of the circular economy currently in Jakarta, we're starting from the household here. Waste from the household can get to be reduced, recycled, and using the several activities like segregation of waste from the source, we hope to reduce of waste generation from the source. And then we do also waste recycling and waste reutilizations. And then through our local or community officer or collector, who use the collection scheme and then transported to the processing at the TPS or our collection waste station or the 3R stations. And then we are carried to the final processing using trucks, and then we are managed in the final disposal site in Bantar Gebang. There are challenges of implementation in this framework. First is about the campaigns and community engagements, because it's really difficult for us to promoting to reduce or segregate water waste from the household scale. And also we hope to get channeling from other prospective collaborators. So here are some of our current collaborators or startups in Jakarta that already cooperate with us in every steps of the framework. And this is our also examples of our startup collaborator for waste management. For example, we have this kite vending machine you can put plastic bottles, you can get some points of your e-wallet, and then we also collaborate with the Biomag regarding the black soldier flies processing, which is the organic waste processing, and we also some product recycle from several startups like Kertabumi and Recycling Village, and we also have this paper waste drop box by Rubah Kertas, which located in one of our stations in Jakarta. And we also currently have more than 1,800 waste banks surround Jakarta, and until March 2025. And we also have this waste station in public area and mobile waste station conducted by Recosystems as one of our startup that I also asked here in this event. And we hope that with this public campaign, the movement to reduce waste from the source in the household level can be increasing in Jakarta. So we're getting to the energy resilience sector. Before I talk about the waste management, now I move to the energy resilience. We own that this regional energy plan from 2030 to 2050. We hope that in the 2050, the proportion of the natural gas will be increasing until 42.3%, and following by the other new and renewable energy, for example, like hydrogen. And in the long term, the supply from the outside will be increasing too, because the electricity demand. So there will be also a high dependency on supply from the outside of Jakarta. And in that plan, we also projected some energy demand in the next 2050, coming from the highest one, it will be from commercial sector, following the transportation and industry sector. So this energy plan also stated that our renewable energy or EBT development from 2025 until 2050 will be coming from solar panel plants, waste processing, including waste management, as I mentioned before, and also from wind power plant and hydrogen power plant. And currently, we also have this target in transition of electrical energy by using electric stove in households and the increasing of electric vehicles in the Jakarta streets. And also, we trying to get some hydrogen electric vehicles in the street in the 2050. So here are some of our strategic plan until 2050 based on our regional energy plan. So if I told you about the growth of total capacity of solar panel installed in Jakarta, currently our energy agency already installed solar PVs in more than 164 buildings, equivalent to 4.0 megawatt P. We are installed in the schools, offices, healthcare facilities, and also sport facilities. The total solar panel operated until 2024 is already 34.38 megawatts reductions of electricity. So we continue to the electrical vehicles ecosystems. We have this our state-owned company called Transjakarta, who operates the EV bus. Until last year, 2024, we already operate 300 EV bus. And with the target in this year, 2025, we will adding some 300 more of EV bus will be operating in Jakarta. And we also have this EV bus roadmap to become fully 100% EV by 2030. And also regarding the charging station of SPKLU, we also following our presidential regulations, and also there's a several fiscal and non-fiscal incentive that can be comply with these charging stations, with some of the challenges that we also face here. For example, regarding the limited assets owned by the local government that are maybe ready to be cooperated to build these charging stations. Okay, so if we talk about startup ecosystems, Jakarta currently have this namely future city hubs. It's a go-to place for smart city innovation in Jakarta. It's a place where business, tech communities, academia, and our side as a government can collaborate together to learning, to implement certain projects together in the future city hub that is projected to become a meeting point between all related stakeholders as a problem owner, with Jakarta as the problem owner and other pentahelix as the problem solver. We hope that we can solve Jakarta's urban problems together. So currently the digital ecosystems is in the making throughout the Jakarta Smart City. The Jakarta Future City Hubs is operated by the Jakarta Smart City unit. The Jakarta Smart City, through the Future City Hubs, maximizing the potential of collaboration by creating a sustainable, resilient, and seamless digital ecosystems between the entrepreneurs community, the government, and also the experts, academia, corporates, and international networks. Throughout this event in SusHi Tech Tokyo, we hope that international networks could help us to collaborate and have a joint project together within these hubs. So there are some programs in Jakarta Future City Hubs that I mentioned before. We have kind of living lab to collaborate with other related stakeholders. And we also conduct some data and policy class, and also conduct some community events, for example, seminars, workshops from any kind of stakeholders. And we also conduct talk show and podcasts related to startup generations and startup collaboration with Jakarta. So here's some of the regulatory and procedural guide in the long term. If maybe there's a potential startup collaboration like city of Helsinki and Nairobi, as I previously presented by startups. And in the long run, there are also regulatory and procedural guide starting from choose your business structure and preparing your own work and stay permits and etc., register taxes, and in the long term regarding the trademark and intellectual property. This is some of the procedural that may be needed after the potential collaborations finish later on. And it's also some key entities and context regarding the investment from the investment ministry and from the law ministry that we need to be explored later on in the long-term development. So our future strategic plan needed as a highlight and conclusion of my presentation that Jakarta also expects to learn from Tokyo and also their startups in terms of novelty and the role of technology in addressing urban problems, one of which is related to waste and renewable energy issues that I've previously mentioned. That also Jakarta eager to gain an understanding on how Tokyo nurturing a sustainable ecosystem for startups to tackle urban issues, like for example making regulations, financial supports, or etc. And Jakarta is open to all possible joint projects to be assessed for implementation under this global networks of sustainability, cooperation, and in the long term. Thank you very much for. My presentation will be continue from one of our startup collaborator, which is Ecosystem by Mr. Ernest Lehman, CEO and co-founder. Please, Ernest.
Okay, thanks Mr. Fadli for the opportunity. It's an honor for me to also partnering with the capital city of Jakarta to share about what we are doing since 2021. I think when we talk about Jakarta, we are a top 30 most populous cities in the world. Even if we include the Greater Jakarta area, we are the second largest agglomerations urban cities in the world. Now, with the number of populations that's really huge, waste productions and managements is inevitable need to be improved. Knowing waste is the results from productions and consumptions, knowing in Jakarta the economic is still growing, the number of waste will only raise. So Recosystem launched in 2021 in Jakarta to help the cities tackle and taking the opportunity managing the waste. We are providing the operating systems, AI-enabled operating systems to help waste management in the city trace from the collections, processing, traceability, and reporting. So from these operating systems, we are partnering with the waste bank, neighborhood committees, waste haulers to track and create routing with the most optimum routing models. At the same time, also educate the household to start sorting the waste. In the middle, we are working with the waste stations, material recovery areas to help them automate the sorting and recovery process. Meanwhile, when we talk about waste, when we go into the processing facilities, the waste conditions need to be sorted based on type and with the right conditions. So the help of our operating system is we integrate with the machineries and sorting system so that we can identify each type of waste that highly value, incentive the workers based on kilograms and type that have been successfully processed, and ensures that everything can be transported into the right recycling facilities or waste to energy facilities that are set up by Jakarta governments or other municipalities. Starting from Jakarta to all over Indonesia, currently we already operated in the 9 provinces and more than 20 cities across Indonesia. So we manage around 4,500 metric tons per month, where around 70% of them can be processed and accepted by the waste recyclers and processors. Through these operations, we got some recognitions. For example, in the Forbes 30 Under 30 2022, being selected as the Google Play Best App Honorable Mentions in 2023, or even become the Fortune's Awards for Fortune Change the World, Fortune Indonesia. So that's kind of the recognition is the proof of the hard works that have been done with our team in Recosystem and also with the trust given by the Jakarta government cities to operate and collaborate for us tackling the waste problems. So actually what we are doing in Jakarta is every process are digitized, traced, and standardized. In the beginning, we start educate people to start sorting the waste based on categories and type, and they will get the incentive. For the waste that is still mixed, we apply the polluter pay principles. Because we are AI enabled, we can measure the source of the waste and charge the payment to the buildings or households that already working with us. In the middle, we are upgrading the current normal waste shelters to become waste station or material recovery facilities. We provide the automation and machinery by working with the brand that want to offset their waste footprint. So we apply plastic polluter pay principle, as I mentioned, that we are working with the big brands for them to offset their waste footprints and funding our operating system. And all mechanizations in our hub are integrated with the AI enabled so that the productivity of waste sorting and the payments for the workers are fairly distributed. Last but not least, we are working with the processing facilities. Each categories currently we can sort it into 60 types of categories of waste that can be processed per category. If we classify into the 3 types, the first one is the unorganic waste, that is like plastic, cardboard, paper. In each categories, we can distribute to the right facilities and processing factories. In the middle, when we talk about organic, we are working with the composting side and black soldier fly side, and we can encourage the new businessmen to set up a new business because we can guarantee the supply, we can guarantee the steady of the raw materials that can be valued by them. Last but not least, the residual one. For example, Jakarta currently have a lot of the waste to energy facilities that need to be controlled, the humidity, the calorific value of the waste. Since we can process in the middles, we can ensure that every waste that can be supplied are acceptable. So currently, from these models, we can create three value from waste. First, value from the service. Second is the value from the materials. The last but not least is the value of the reporting and the impact. So that's how we can, as the company and the private sector, can generate economic values, because we believe with the triple bottom line, it's not only about social and economical impact, but also social and environmental impact, but also the economic values. So currently we manage around 90,000 households, 200 buildings, operating around 600 waste stations, 15 material recovery facilities. And we quite improve greatly by starting support from the Jakarta. In terms of economics also, we are growing around with the 442% of CAGRs. So we grow very fast, and we are having a good unit economics values. Maybe if we can see in the news right now, we just secure our new investment round to scale further. So thanks for the trust from the Jakarta, and the futures for waste management in Jakarta and especially Indonesia will be brighter. I think that's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raymond. Please remain on stage, Mr. Raymond. Thank you very much. And I would like to have you back, Mr. Hurray, to the stage once again. Thank you very much for your cooperation. So at this point, we would like to open the floor for 10 minutes, around 10 minutes Q&A session regarding the reverse pitches and the support framework introduced. So if you have any question, please raise your hand. And once you're selected, please state your name and indicate to whom your question is directed before posting your question. So let's get started. Please raise your hand if you have any question, everyone. Do you have any question? Gentleman over there, 一番後ろの人お願いいたします。
So thank you for your presentations, and I have a question about the illegal dumping situation in Indonesia and Jakarta. So please tell me about the problem or something,
Illegal dumping. Okay. So thank you very much for your questions. Regarding the illegal dumping, we are regularly monitor and tracking the waste truck from the source of the household, and to make sure that they will transport it all the ways to the final disposal site. So that's why we are installed GPS tracker in all of our trucks, and we make regulation for private trucks operators, so the illegal dumping can be minimized cannot be happen in the real life in the field.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's the reason why the traceability and operating system is really important in Indonesia. I think if we compare into the developed country, why we need is something not special, but for us it's really special because this traceability is mitigate the risk of the illegal dumping and also empower the waste haulers, a business to start operating the business and helping the government tackling the waste management problems, because otherwise only the illegal one that will survive.
Yeah.
So we are doing it, and we can say that Jakarta is already progressing really well for that.
Okay, thank you. So can I have one more question?
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
So who have the responsibility about the illegal dumping in the government side? For example, in Japan, so the prefecture or local government have the responsibility about that. So how about in Jakarta or in Indonesia?
Yeah, thank you for your second question. The agency who is responsible to conduct the monitoring and also the law enforcement is the environmental agencies of Jakarta. So we have this special team to monitor and tracking all of the trucks that I mentioned before. If there are strong proof that they're doing the illegal dumpings, we can track that from the time of the GPS stop in certain locations. For example, if you can see on the maps, it's a special on in the comment center in the environmental agencies. So therefore, there will be law enforcement follow-up needed to show how is the people or the trucks who do the illegal dumping really proven. Are they doing that? Is they really doing the illegal dumping, or just stationed there, or how they can stay in that position for so long, for example? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions. So we still have some time left. If you have any question, please raise your hand. There's someone over here. You should give him a microphone. Thank you very much.
Selamat siang, nama saya Ken Kikuchi dari TBM. I have one question. In your presentation regarding waste volume in DK Jakarta, approx 7,000 tons every day. Is that only from household level or including industrial waste?
Yeah, mostly the waste coming from transported to the final disposal site in Bantar Gebang coming from household level. In the industrial waste, for example, they have different waste collecting who will then manage it differently with the domestic waste.
Do you have any estimated volume of waste from industrial level?
Where's on the industrial level? Do you know?
I think for usually more than around 55% from the housing area. Another around 30-ish% is coming from the commercials and traditional markets, and around below 10% from the industrial area. And I think when we talk about specific city of Jakarta, there is not a lot of the industrial area, because industrial area is located in the greater Jakarta area. So it's in the Bekasi, Tangerang area, the satellite city beside Jakarta.
If I can adding some answer regarding the industrial zones, in our spatial planning plan, we already removed the industrial zones. There are only around 2 or 3 industrial zones remain inside in Jakarta area. The other industrial zone or facilities is already removed or relocate in other cities outside Jakarta. So I hope it can reduce the potential of industrial waste produced in Jakarta. Thank you.
Okay. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Thank you very much for your question. So we still have some time left again. Would you like to? Yes, thank you very much. Can I have your name, sir?
Okay, thank you for the informative presentation. I'm Tatsuki from TBM, Japanese startup, doing the business of material circulation, especially plastic recycling. And I have the question about the interest to the recycling in Jakarta, because as you mentioned, the collected waste is in the current situation into the landfill or RDF. So I'd like to know the interest in Jakarta to the recycling.
Yeah.
You want to
So I think for in Indonesia, the recycling business is in the state of the early developments, we can say. When we talk about plastic specifically, currently the most recyclable plastic that already have a lot of facilities is mostly the PET. PET is already contribute around 50%, I think, capacity can be accepted or absorbed. Others, I think, is around still 10%. So it's still early development, but I think what I can share is the seriousness from the municipalities, especially Jakarta, is already there, because currently we already apply the sorting obligation from the sources, setting up the waste station and waste recovery to sort the waste based on type. So the supplies of sorted waste is already starting right now. Now the next development is how we can increase the facility capacity can absorb all of the sorted waste. I can say currently the development is mostly on the PET, but I believe more to come into more categories of waste.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. So maybe one more question. We can accept one more question. If you have any question, please raise your hand. Any other question? Okay, so maybe we can finish our Q&A session this moment. Thank you very much. This concludes our Q&A session. Thank you very much, Mr. Hurry, Mr. Layman, for your
Thank
amazing
you.
presentation pitches.
Yeah.
And please give a big round of applause to them. Please step down from the stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you.